watched it anyway, because we're going to get into that in a moment. Right after I reveal this little bit of scoop news, whatever you want to call it.
Ooh.
Take it with a grain of salt, guys. This is rumor, obviously, but I have it from two sources now that Jonathan Majors has been let go from the Marvel Universe.
No.
Mhm.
Really?
Wow.
Now, of course, this is not something we're going to be able to really confirm probably for a while, because Lord knows they're not going to make an announcement. But what they probably will do is announce his replacement at some point, and or they will just write him out in some way. So yeah, from two sources, I've heard now today that Jonathan Majors is no more in the MCU. So take it with a grain of salt, kids.
Fascinating. Yes.
Not like a big surprise, I don't think, to anybody, but I want to get everybody's response to it. Kara, since you just joined us, what's your response to this breaking news?
I would have waited until after any trials or any charges were actually I would have waited until he was actually convicted of something personally. I think it's them kind of jumping the
If
gun.
this is true, right? Yeah.
If it's true, personally, and like a lot of you guys you guys know my stance on the whole Jonathan Majors thing. Like I like domestic debacles are very touchy situations. And men are assholes. Women are vindictive as hell. So we are very, very petty human beings.
You know, it's funny because it wasn't even planned for you to show up, but we really did break all this shit down on Toxic Femme
we
a couple
did.
weeks back. Yeah, so it is kind of ironic.
And I personally think that they jumped the gun, kind of how everybody did with the whole Johnny Depp thing. But if it does come out that he did do these things and he was convicted of a crime, okay, no, like I understand, I accept that, but I think the whole, I think it's way too early to tell.
That's fair.
So that's I'm just very hesitant to make any decisions or have any type of opinion until everything is there, because like I said, domestic disputes are very touchy.
You're not wrong there, and that's totally a fair answer to that culture. What's your response to this, if it's true?
Well, I would have to take a look at what his contract says for, any kind of moral perpetuity clause or anything like that. There might be something inside his contract that allows them to release him, but I would be real surprised, as Kara just mentioned, if they don't wait for it to play out a little longer. Could I believe that they would do it? Yes. As a business person, do I think this is, already coming to this point? No, they have room to not worry about this yet. The bigger problem is when this goes to trial, which it will soon, or at least it'll go to its initial hearing. Will that trigger something like, his appearance in Loki season 2, or will it, will they have to reshoot something? There's a lot of questions here. I think for now, it's probably safer for them, in light of what the relationship they destroyed with Johnny Depp, to sit and wait until something significant actually plays out. That's what I think.
Ryan.
Yeah, I think I largely agree with Kara and culture. I mean, the principle should be for every individual, regardless of whether they're a movie star or not, it's innocent until proven guilty. So what exactly is he being fired for? Is it just because he might be spending a lot of time in a courtroom instead of in front of the camera? And maybe, as culture said, there might be some clauses in his contract or in everybody's contract in Marvel around, being available for certain things, because otherwise it's jumping the gun. GUNN, jumping the gun. And I think it's not a great look if the gentleman in question proves to be entirely vindicated after the process. Then what does that look like? He's lost a major opportunity when he's done nothing, if indeed he is found to be innocent of these charges.
Off the top of my head, I can think of 2 of Netflix's more well-received series that got completely butchered when they fired people off the allegations, people who went to court, and whether or not they were guilty, they went through court and they were shown to be innocent in their day in court. So that being said, we've got a lot of history at this point to show that it's probably not a good idea to act too quickly. But in the case of Jonathan Majors, you got Marvel that's not really doing very well to begin with right now. And you have Johnny Depp, who is easily replaced, even if not wisely replaced, in the Fantastic Beasts franchise, which would be very similar here with the multiverse. They can just replace him if they want. But as Culture said, they don't have to do it right now. They have time. Things are so much in development, they can put it off for months if they want to. But they could do it and just call it the multiverse. And that would be the end of it.
Clobby, what's your take on this plausible
pretty much
rumor?
Pretty much all been said. I think it'd be a little bit premature if it's the case, but like I said, they can always use some alternate version. They probably, I think someone kind of made a point in the chat. I believe that this might be them. If they jump on this, so they can just use this as an excuse to just use a female Kang, like they sort of did with the Loki show.
God, I hope they don't do that.
I would laugh though if they did.
That would be so. That would piss off so many people. But obviously, Disney doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Well, exactly.
Want to blow everybody's minds?
Exactly.
Cast Terrence Howard in the role.
I saw somebody mention that.
Yep. Just we're bringing him back, but he's going to be Kang.
Circle back.
No, I think you all are making very valid and good points. If this is true, I'm with you guys on the whole due process stuff. I don't think any decision should be made before,
Sure.
I court, but
wasn't what that Snyder guy talking about this, that they still hadn't made a decision on him like just a couple days ago?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't hear about that. I'm just going off of what
I
was
believe
told
you. I believe
today,
you.
and I checked with another source, and so this is where I'm at. Again, a heavy rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. I agree with you guys to a point. Like I totally understand it from a personal point of view, from a fan perspective, even though I have no horse in this race when it comes to this guy, just from, just in general, I'm not a fan of cancel culture, especially, before the jury, when the jury's literally still out on this. It hasn't even
hire Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, right.
That'll
fix everything. I'm Kang. Try to fuck with me and see what happens. That's right.
I think I'd prefer an Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy would be better, I think.
Oh, King, man. Don't fuck with me.
The character's already ruined anyway by his appearance on Loki and then the crappy Quantumania. So
and that's the thing. You bring that up.
Really liked him in Loki. I will say I did actually really like his performance in his monologue in Loki.
I thought it was cringy.
I didn't see it as that, but I also don't know very much of like the Loki story. I don't know any of that about the multiverse of Loki. I don't know anything.
Right. It's cringy for the character of Kang, who's nothing like he was portrayed in that. And that's just as far as in the comics. As a fan of the character of the comics, that scene in Loki was whoa boy bad, I thought.
Yeah. Like from a ignorant and like from somebody who doesn't know anything about it, I didn't mind it. It really didn't. I thought he was good, especially for breaking it up from the whole Sylvie stuff.
Oh, he's a great actor. I think the actor's excellent. I mean, even though the casting, is a stunt casting of a sort, a woke casting sort, but he's a great actor. Nothing against him from that standpoint.
Well, and the only problem with I see Will Smith is a great choice, but do they want to replace one slapper with another? I mean,
if it was Eddie Murphy, they could have a great crossover. They could have Beverly Hills Kang and stuff like that. It would be just awesome.
Well, anyway, so you guys are right though. I mean, there's plenty of great points here. On the other hand, from what Cece said, yes, you can recast these characters, but look at how bad that panned out for the Beast movie. It did not go well.
It's a little different, because Johnny Depp is such a known.
Well, there's that too, but I mean, there's other aspects to this though.
It was perfect for that role,
right?
So
I mean,
perfect.
Who wants egg on their face if it comes at the end of the day where you fire this guy and he's completely innocent? I get that, but I feel like if this is true, there was a decision made for a reason, and I think it's been brought up in the chat and a few other places already, maybe even close to on this panel, to where I think this is the reason why they have to. I'm sure they're getting close to, if not already shooting Loki season 2. The next thing in line is coming up. They're going to have to make a decision. What happens if you've got 2 years worth of crap in the can and this guy is guilty?
I mean, the benefit
That's a
here is
problem.
that he doesn't really have the same kind of charisma as Johnny Depp would have had in that role. They're not.
I just
they don't
see
really
that their
stand to
hands
lose
being
something
forced
huge
here,
here,
maybe.
you know?
Well, that's the thing, and I think you're right. Like, here's the thing: is I see a hand being forced here. They probably had to make a decision, and if I have to put my corporate hat on for a second, money says you can recast this guy, and you're better off at the end of the day, regardless of whether he's innocent or not, because then you don't have that shit hanging over you for the next year or so.
But that all depends on the contract, and again, I mean, when it comes to Johnny Depp, I don't care about the Fantastic.
Oh, I'm
Beasts
sure there's a
thing.
morality clause that they'll get.
I think so too. But Johnny Depp was a bigger deal to Disney because of the Pirates franchise, you know, and they've really cut their nose off in that one.
Well, what they won't do, culture, here is I don't think they'll announce it publicly, and that's what I was saying at the start of this report.
Maybe,
because that was their problem with Johnny, is they didn't have a reason to announce it, and they still did because there wasn't anything in the pipeline.
They're stuck with him, Tom. The 6 episodes of Loki season 2, supposedly he's in. So and they're done. They're in the can. They shot.
Okay, well, in that case, that's what I'm saying is, like, at this point, whatever's coming up here, though, they got to probably make a decision. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to see that show real soon. Actually, Loki, I think, premieres like later this summer, and you know, it's done. They shot it at Pinewood a year ago. A year ago, in June was when this was filming. So, you know, it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, this is my choice here too.
There you go. Good with Kara.
RDJ. He's the only man who can pull it off. Well, we'll have to wait and see how this pans out. Like I said, this is not something, sadly, that we can verify anytime soon, most likely, unless they actually do announce a recasting of him very soon. Again, this is only a rumor. It's a very light rumor at best. That's why we're doing it here on Midnight's Edge After Dark instead of doing it in a video or somewhere else. So take it with a huge grain of salt, kids. That's all I'm gonna say on that. We got more Marvel